Did you know that cats have deep feelings and, yes, they have their own code of honor? If you love cats, or have ever had one, you know they're mysterious creatures, full of personality. And today, my friends, we're going to talk about something really important. 5 things a cat will never forgive. And at the end, I've got a surprise that will leave you speechless. Oh, and before we start, make sure to leave that awesome like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any tips. I'm sure you'll relate to number 4, so stay with me until the end, because it's going to be epic. Let's go. Number 1, disrespecting their space. Now let's start with the first point. Something cats will never forgive. Disrespecting their space. That's right. A cat is like that friend who loves a moment of peace and solitude. If you invade their space aggressively, like picking them up without asking or trying to pet them when they're clearly trying to retreat, you can bet trust will go down the drain. Cats love their space, and if you don't respect it, they will. Pull away. Simple as that. They might even hide for hours, but they will never forget the invasion. And worse, they'll give you that look of disdain, which is kind of like, do you really think you know me? You can bet that cold look, the one that makes you feel tiny and insignificant, will stick in your mind. They don't forgive this kind of behavior. They're super independent, and although they can be affectionate, they always make it clear when they want time alone. It's not about lacking affection, it's about respecting their space. If you overstep, the cat will distance itself, and that bond of trust you've built may quickly weaken. Just because a cat is affectionate doesn't mean they're okay with being hugged or picked up at any time. They know they have the control, and if you don't understand that they need moments of solitude, the price will be high. You might lose the chance to receive that special affection, and the cat will probably only come to you when they feel like it, on their terms. So you know what to do, right? Respect their space, and the relationship will flow much better. Number 2, making them feel ignored. Now let's move on to the second thing a cat will never forgive, and this one is heavy. Making them feel ignored. Have you ever noticed how cats love to get your attention in subtle ways? It could be with a soft meow, a direct gaze, or even a little tap on your foot. They're masters at calling your attention in a discreet way, and usually, when they do this, they're asking for something. But if you simply ignore it, it's like disregarding their feelings. They'll notice that, somehow, you're not paying attention to what they're trying to communicate, and this will affect the trust between you. Cats are known for their independence, but that doesn't mean they want to be invisible or undervalued. On the contrary, they have a lot to say, and when they decide to approach you, it's because they want something in return, whether it's affection, attention, or even playtime. Ignoring this can leave the cat frustrated, and that's when the problem starts. They may even get used to being ignored from time to time, but resentment will build up, and eventually they'll find a way to remind you that they're still there, and in ways you won't like. They might start scratching the sofa, or destroying that plant pot you love. It's their way of showing that they're not happy with the lack of attention, and if you don't react, you might end up dealing with a more distant, stubborn, and even destructive cat. They want to know that you notice their presence, that you care about them, and that even though they're independent, they're not alone in their feelings. An ignored cat is a frustrated cat. And that's not something you want to happen in your relationship. And look, cats have their own ways of communicating, and if you're not paying attention to that, things can escalate quickly. It's not just about giving affection, it's about recognizing that they're trying to talk to you. Ignoring that is almost like denying their existence to them. And that's something they don't forget. Number 3, sudden changes in their routine. And this one will surprise you. Sudden changes in their routine. You know that day when you decide to reorganize the house, move the furniture, or even change the bed's position. Well, my friend, the cat is going to be in shock. Cats are extremely attached to their routine. Every scratch on the couch, every corner of the house they rest in, and even the timing of their meals are part of a balance they've created to feel safe and comfortable. When you alter this suddenly, it's like their world is turned upside down. They'll feel disoriented, anxious, and even a bit frustrated. If you move the furniture and change their environment without giving the cat time to adjust, they'll start to feel uncomfortable, and this stress can show up in many ways. They might become more reclusive, hide in places you didn't even know existed, or even start behaving aggressively. And you know that famous phrase, cats are cute and sweet? Well, that sweet, cuddly version of your cat disappears when they feel like the house has become a strange and unstable place. Big changes, like a new person in the house or the introduction of another pet, are also things they won't forgive easily. The cat might eventually adapt over time, but at first they'll feel like they're losing their territory, and that can cause a huge amount of stress. They have a strong sense of ownership over the space they live in, and when something or someone interferes with that, insecurity takes over. And the worst part is, cats don't hide this stress. They'll show it in the most obvious ways possible, with behavior you didn't expect. That famous mess in the kitchen, a plate of food turned over on the floor, or even the plant that was sitting perfectly in its place but now scattered across the hallway. And if you have a window accessible, get ready for that unexpected escape. They'll find ways to regain control over their environment, and running away is one of the most common ways they show they're unhappy with the change. The best way to handle this is to give it time. If possible, try making changes gradually and allow the cat to explore the new environment at their own pace. Don't force interactions or drastic changes because if you don't respect their timing, they'll start showing you in ways you won't like. And of course, all of this applies not only to physical space but also to changes in their daily routine, from meal times to the rhythm of playtime. Cats love predictability, and any sudden alteration can deeply affect their emotional balance. Number 4. Yelling at them. Now get ready for the shock. The cat will never forgive you if you yell at them. Yes, yell. Cats have an incredible sensitivity to sound, far more acute than ours. Unlike dogs, who usually respond more positively to a firm tone or even a reprimand, cats become deeply scared and uncomfortable when you raise your voice. They don't have the immediate response that a dog would. For them, a yell is a threat, a violation of the safe environment that you, as their owner, should be providing. If you yell at your cat, even if it's for a reason you think is valid, like when they do something wrong or destroy something you care about, they won't associate the yelling with your frustration in a clear way. Instead, they will feel fear, confusion, and worse, they will associate your behavior with danger. Yelling at your cat repeatedly creates an emotional distance between you, something that can take a long time to repair if it happens. Cats have a very strong need to feel secure and in control of their environment. They have the ability to detect even the slightest signs of stress or aggression, and a raised voice is a clear signal that their environment is unsafe. What happens is that, in response, they may start to hide, pull away, or even avoid your company. This is the beginning of emotional detachment. Trust, which is essential in any relationship with a cat, will be lost. They won't understand your frustration. Instead, they'll feel betrayed and suspicious. A common mistake that many cat owners make is thinking that they'll understand the reason for your yelling and change their behavior because of it. But the truth is very different. When a cat hears a raised voice, they don't make the connection between their behavior and your reaction. What they will perceive is the implied threat in the sound, and this will increase their distrust and fear. They're not like dogs, who generally try to please or understand the house rules based on a reprimand. A cat is more introspective, so their emotional response is much more complex. The best way to deal with moments of frustration when the cat does something unwanted is to try to stay calm and speak in a calm tone, even in the tensest moments. Cats are very perceptive to tone, and a gentle approach can be more effective than you think. You can use a firm tone, but without being aggressive. Also, instead of yelling, use other forms of communication, like redirecting their behavior to something more appropriate, or even using a toy to distract them. In the end, a cat that feels threatened or scared will emotionally distance itself, and that can deeply affect your relationship with them. So, the key is patience, calmness, and respect for your cat's boundaries. Trust me, they will respond much better if they feel their environment is safe and stable. Number 5. Not taking care of their hygiene. And finally, the last point, but by no means the least important, not taking care of their hygiene. Cats are extremely meticulous about their own cleanliness. They spend hours each day grooming themselves, making sure every part of their body is in perfect condition. So, if you don't provide them with a clean environment, a litter box that's always cleaned, and a peaceful place where they can care for themselves, get ready for a big feline disappointment. An unhappy cat with their hygiene won't just stay quiet. They'll show it in very explicit ways. Cats are naturally very demanding when it comes to cleanliness. They know how crucial a clean environment is for their well-being. If their litter box isn't clean, if their surroundings are messy or smelly, they will become uncomfortable and even stressed. For a cat, a dirty space is a dangerous space, full of unwanted and uncomfortable odors, and that can affect their physical and emotional health. Believe me, for a cat, hygiene isn't about being fussy. It's about survival and balance. They can't cope with an environment that doesn't meet their basic cleaning needs. If you neglect their hygiene, you may start seeing signs of protest, ranging from scratching furniture, ignoring you, or even turning into a real rebel. They might even pee in unusual places, like your couch or even your bed. This is not a revenge behavior, but a way to show that something is wrong. For the cat, if their litter box is dirty or they don't have a proper place for their needs, they will look for another spot they think is acceptable. And you can bet that this spot, if not the right one, will be in a very inconvenient place. Moreover, a cat that doesn't have a clean, comfortable environment may start developing anxious behaviors. They are very sensitive to their surroundings, and the stress of living in a dirty or disorganized space can affect their mental and even physical health. This can lead to behavioral issues such as loss of appetite, refusal to play, or even excessive grooming as if they were trying to correct what's wrong around them. So don't fall into the trap of thinking it's just fussiness or excessive demands. A cat is a very clean creature, and yes, if you don't provide the proper care, they will show you in other ways. Cats are great at showing you what they need, and if you don't understand the signs, the consequences will start showing up in the form of unwanted behavior. A clean litter box, a peaceful environment, and proper hygiene care are essential for your cat's happiness and well-being. They will thank you with trust and affection, and of course, much less rebellion. Wow, this list is pretty intense, right? But hey, if you've recognized some of these mistakes in yourself, don't worry. Cats are full of personality, but they are also incredibly resilient. And with patience, you can regain their trust. Don't feel bad if you've made any of these mistakes. Everyone who loves a cat has probably gone through some of these challenges. The important thing is that you're looking to learn, and that's a big step in improving your relationship with your feline. They are more tolerant than we think, and with time and the right care, they'll open up to you again. I know that anyone who loves a cat always wants the best for them, and that's exactly why we're here, sharing these ideas. Together, we can better understand our cats and give them an even happier and healthier life. And now, before you go, tell me in the comments, which of these behaviors have you already committed? Is there any other mistake you think should be on this list? I'd love to hear your opinion. And who knows, maybe we can create an even more complete list of mistakes that cat owners make. After all, everyone's experience is unique, and sharing ideas will only help us be better cat caregivers. Oh, and if you've made it this far, thank you. That means you're really a cat lover, and I'm so grateful for your company. Not everyone has the patience and care to truly understand a cat's behavior. So, if you're still here, it's because you care. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. This way, more cat lovers like you can learn with us and improve their lives with their cats. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, treat your cat like the king or queen they are. Remember, they deserve all the love, respect, and care in the world. Bye for now.